Check, check. Good morning. Hello and good day. Steve Higginbotham here, the coffee coach. It is 4:35 a.m. Thanksgiving 2023. And I'm coming at you live, raw, uncut, no fancy bells and whistles to this. And I finally figured out this is how I'm going to start and continue on with my podcast. I don't have time for these fancy edits, all these cool things coming in. And when I think of myself and I think of the career and things that I have, it's like, okay, I could do a podcast, I could get all these hosts, I can ask all these questions and do all this, and there's just so much time and energy put in that. But yet, every single day I have 2, 3, maybe 4 ideas. I just want to get it out to you. And I'm like, why cut it? If I make mistakes, who really freaking cares? Like, even if I fucking cuss, like, does it really matter? I mean, yeah, to some people it probably does. To maybe some folks that are stuffy in the corporate America, sitting high up on their corner office and, oh, it's got to be perfect and it's got to be this. You know what? Fuck that shit. It's 4:30 in the morning. I woke up, I had a thought, and it's about, fuck, the good old days, man. People, just do your fucking job. And honestly, I'm calling myself out. Yesterday, I had some little incidences with some coworkers that I worked with, and we had a task that I just couldn't figure out why this process was working this specific way. And if I really just would have taken a step back, paused, and looked at all of my data sources, the answer was right at my fucking fingertips. Yet I was so consumed by what my team needed, what the client wasn't providing us, that I really wasn't seeing I wasn't seeing the forest through the trees. I was just looking like at the weeds and the trees, and I needed to step back, and it freaking just hit me like a ton of bricks this morning. So I woke up, and here I am. And I think if I'm going to be the honest recruiter, I'm not an HR person. I don't frickin' follow all those fucking rules. Whether I grew up skateboarding as a fucking punk rocker, and you can call me a skater punk, whatever. That's just who I am. Like, I follow process, I follow procedures, I do the best that I can, but fuck, I'm so tired of all the little tedious bullshit that fucking corporations put on you that are unfucking necessary. I mean, it's just overwhelming. It's just too much. And I watched Bad Moms with my wife the other night. I think it was just 2 nights ago. And it's just like, fuck. Who cares about a PTA meeting to talk about a fucking bake sale and the fucking shit that's in the bake sale? If you don't like it, don't fucking buy it. Don't eat it. But don't make other people conform to that shit. Now, there can be fucking people that are health nuts, and there can be people that fucking eat sweets like myself. Maybe we're a little overweight, maybe we're a little out of shape, but are we hurting anybody other than ourselves? I don't think so. My impact on this world has nothing to do with the fact that I love chocolate. Now, sugar is probably one of the worst things to be addicted to. Not the worst, but probably one of the worst things. And I've been addicted to that for probably fucking 20 years. And I'd say every single night after dinner, whether I have dinner at 6 o'clock or last night at like 9:30 because I went skateboarding, I had my sugar. Who fucking cares? It's me. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm actually helping. I'm purchasing a consumer product that is keeping someone busy in their job, providing for their family. Does that hurt anybody? Getting back to the topic at hand, just do your fucking job. Quit fucking complaining about it. I literally woke up and my boss sent me an email. He's in Europe. And it's my 5th boss, by the way, within 2 years. That's another fucking topic for discussion later on. Corporate America, man. but I'm literally thinking to myself, my boss has got to be thinking that I'm the neediest little fucking bitch out there because I'm constantly saying, I need this, I want this, I do this, I do that. He's probably looking at this fucking email across the pond going, dude, just fucking do your job. That's how I just woke up like 15 minutes ago, thinking to myself, going, God, I'm a needy little fucking bitch. And then I'm looking back going, how are other people? How are you feeling out there today? Whether it's in your personal life or it's in work. Like, how are you waking up? And I just completed the course, Positive Intelligence. And it was fucking tedious. And yeah, I'm drinking a beer from last night, this morning. I think it's Thanksgiving. It's my fucking day off. Leave me alone. And, God, the course was awesome. But yet, Shirzad, the gentleman that owns the company, owns the fucking product, the concept is phenomenal. It's about positive intelligence and how to wake up and how to take breaks throughout the day to get yourself back to center, to be balanced. So it's got that kind of yogi meditation flow to it. And it's tedious, yeah, I will fucking give it that. But what it does is it's trying to break you. It's trying to strip you of those bad habits that you have. Like yesterday, just fucking worked and worked and worked. And next thing you know, I knew it was 1 o'clock. Took a fucking 10, 15-minute break. Went down, said hello to my wife, some kids, and some neighbors, and pet the dogs. And then came back right to work and fucking grinded for another 2 hours. Then I forgot, I should do this for my wife. Oh, I want to go skateboarding. I want to do this. Next thing you know, I got home at 9 o'clock and I forgot to feed the dog lunch. That's fucked up. Because I didn't take a 2 to 5 minute break in my day. Am I really that busy? But I'm so self-fucking consumed. And that's bullshit. Like, I'm calling myself out. That's bullshit. Like, I needed to take more breaks yesterday. And when I was skating, it was all crowded at the park in this one section, and I just got fucking pissed off. And I'm like, that's it, I'm done. And that's not it, man. I had things to work on. I had things to do. There was people there, so went to my car, had a beer, met with a couple people, sat there and talked for 2 hours. But I could have been skating for another half an hour to an hour, enjoying myself, had I just taken a moment and a break and got away from the crowd, went over here, and just kind of reset myself. Push the fucking pause button, push the reset button, and fucking let's go again, you know? So there's a time for solitude, there's a time for community, but I guess in the workflow, what I'm trying to get at is, fuck, man, just take a break, take a step back, don't be so fucking self-consumed with a project, an issue, and I was trying to solve it, I was looking at it, but I needed to sit back and think about it for 5 minutes maybe, not even that. And I probably would have said, you know what, I have this resource at my fingertip. I have this resource at my fingertip. Let me stop and dig and dig and dig and find it. And I did do that. But I didn't do it appropriately. And then I started asking, oh, you go help me, you go help me, you go help me. And I became a needy little fucking bitch. I really did. And it was already done for me back in June 28th of this year. Months and months ago. Today's Thanksgiving. The answer was in 3 different sections on 2 different platforms. And they were all consistent. They were very clear. They were spelled out. And I just needed to take a couple screenshots, send that over to my client and say, this is the process. This is how we do it. Let's fix it. It took me 4 days to solve for that. 2 days were just wasted digging around, asking for help. And I didn't feel like people were helping me. And it's kind of like, you don't need to raise your voice. You need to provide or articulate better. And I wasn't doing that apparently. And I became a needy little fucking bitch. And yeah, it was a lesson I just learned. And fucking 52 years old, like I'm still learning shit. And I know better than that. That's the thing. But I got so consumed with this one little task and I was frustrated. And going through positive intelligence, and what I'm trying to convey to you is just take a time out. Don't quit. Just take a pause. Hit the reset button. Come back to center. Whatever it takes for you to get back to that center. And I know I can do it sometimes within 1 to 2 minutes. I'm pretty quick at it. I call it the light switch because I can turn it on and off at any time. I can get upset at any time and I can chill at any time. I can dial it up, I can dial it back. I can slow my roll or I can speed it up. And I have a phrase that I really, really like. 2 words that I think are very powerful. Relaxed intensity. And that's how I go about my day. I am intense as fuck. But I want to come off as relaxed. I want to be relaxed. I am relaxed. And I'm very calm. But my mind is freaking super intense. It's moving. If I had to equate it to anybody and how they think and what they do, I grew up listening to Henry Rollins. And that guy is freaking super intense. He is not the best musician. But to me, he's a freaking artist because he's raw, he's intense, he's hardcore, and he just goes and goes and goes and he fucking grinds it and he has that tenacity. And I've always been enthralled by him. Ever since I heard the album The End of Silence. And I think it was back in 1989, it might have been 1990. And I don't know if the album came back out in 92. I feel like that was too late. I want to say 89, probably 1990, but maybe 92. And I apologize, I don't know the dates, but man, like that album freaking shaped me. That album just spoke to me. And I grew up listening to some really great bands like Suicidal Tendencies. I still love Metallica. I do like U2. And there's some other great bands that I'm not even naming. But for me, Rollins has that fucking relaxed intensity. And I gotta pay homage to Genentech, one of the clients I serviced way back in 2005 for a couple of years when I was working in the staffing industry. And many people up there had this thing called relaxed intensity. And they had, I think, probably 65 buildings in a matter of a few square miles, like a huge facility in South San Francisco, gorgeous campus. They had a freaking sushi bar, and you can make your own pasta bar. Like, it was awesome. I love visiting it. I'm from SoCal, so it was nice to fly up every month and visit them, and the people were super cool, great company, great products and service. If you like the biotech industry, like, they were my favorite account, next to Allergan. But Allergan's owned by AbbVie now, so the corporate's got them. But they had relaxed intensity. And one thing I really loved about them, too, is they always started their meetings 5 minutes past the hour, and they always ended their meetings 5 minutes before the hours. So any individual, they had Blackberries at the time, if that kind of dates you, when we worked with them, they would go from campus to campus, but they would have 10-minute breaks, so they could go out and get a drink, they could go use the restroom, and they could also check an email or two and respond and do a little bit of work within that time frame. So they were a little bit relaxed, and then they had a 50-minute meeting. And there was intention in that meeting, like not coming in to waste anyone's time and to talk, like we're getting down to business. And they tried, and most of them did a phenomenal job at this, to work 8, maybe 9, and sometimes 10, but to work within that time frame. They had balance within their life. Go home, see your family, pet your dog, go for a hike, go for a walk, do whatever you do outside of work. Work should not consume you 100% of the time like it does. And I just read something today from Mel Robbins about her and her family. She's going to go visit her father or her side of the family for Thanksgiving. And they're going down to Florida, and I think she's from Boston. And she wrote in one of her notes today, like her letters, was basically saying that the average human on Earth lives 80 years. I'm 52. That means I got 28 more years, which means I only have 28 more Thanksgivings, maybe 29. But the point is, like, there's not a lot of time. Why do we spend it at work, and why do we spend it consumed on bullshit tasks? Take a step back. Everything I've learned from positive intelligence, they call them PQ reps. So about every 3 hours, take a 2 to 5 minute break. Get up, get some water, go to the restroom, go pet your dog, go for a hike, and freaking just reset. And if I've learned anything from positive intelligence, it's not about quitting, but those little breaks throughout the day make me a better employee, make me a better person, make me a better worker. I'm able to get my job done better, and it's that relaxed, and then I come back and now I'm intense. I've got that 1 or 2 hours of like a sprint. And I'm not a sprinter by any imagination. I'm not even a runner. I'm barely a fucking jogger. Now, I have done some triathlons. I've done 4 70.3 Ironmans, but that was a couple years ago. And now I've been skating since COVID because everything kind of locked us down, and I was just not going to do a fucking Ironman virtually. I'm sorry. Like, if I'm going to do it, I want to be in the crux of it. I want to be people flying by me. You know, hopefully they're not flying by me, but they are. I mean, I'm pretty decent on the bike, but by no means am I a freaking athlete. I complete them. Let's just say I'm a finisher, and I'm okay with that, you know. There has been one triathlon that I wasn't able to complete, partly because I was sick and I wasn't feeling so well, and I didn't complete the run. I did the swim, and I did almost the whole bike, and then I just had to tap out. So I didn't get that medal. But I've completed every other one, and I do it because it pushes me as a person to that next limit. I just enjoy that. I freaking love that, like testing my body. But even yesterday, skateboarding, I'm a little bit frustrated with myself because I hold back. And the guys I skate with, they just want me to be good. They want me to be better, and they're creating this element of progression to push myself. And I always have this philosophy: it's about progression, not perfection. And I didn't have a great skate day. Maybe it's because it was back to back, and the day before that I did okay, and I shifted. I just cut a new board. I trimmed it down, and it's just not right. It's good, and it's good enough, but it's not perfect, and I'm struggling with it. And that's the element that I just need to take a step back, have that relaxed intensity, think about it, be positive about it. And now I need to find my new board. So right after this little episode here that I call Let's Face It, let's just get fucking raw, let's get real, let's be honest. Write in the emails, in the chats, send me a DM, tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you want me to talk about, what you want to hear. Yeah, and if you ever want to be, you know, a guest on this, I'd love to have you. Be great to kind of go back and talk, and I'm almost open to any freaking topic. So there's a few that I'm gonna shy away from, but at the same, if it's around careers,